Make it 2 years in a row for Seahawks cornerback Devon Witherspoon as he was selected to a second consecutive Pro Bowl by the NFL. In addition to Witherspoon, 5 of the Seahawks were selected as alternates to the game, and those 5 players are Leonard Williams, punter Michael Dixon, safety Julian Love, outside linebacker Boye Mafe, and wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba. All right, let's get to the video and the injury report.
Oh, Lord. On. Go ahead. Shall we?
I enjoy playing football. Every opportunity you get, man, like, you know, for young guys or anybody listening, they're all valuable, you know. And, you know, for me, man, I look forward to the next opportunity. And so that's just the next opportunity, and really looking forward to it. And, you know, really just the way that, you know, he's worked diligently throughout the season. You know, we've had our fair share of ups and downs, and, you know, things haven't been all perfect. But, you know, Grubb's been the same guy throughout the entire year. I feel like, you know, with the changes we've had up front, you know, guys in and out of the lineup, I thought, you know, Huff did a great job, and Nuge did a great job of making sure guys were prepared. You know, obviously we know about our receivers and all our skill players, but, you know, when you talk about numbers and all that, you know, obviously they speak, you know, to what's being done, but I feel like there's a lot that I could have improved on. So I'm always going to focus on that more than the good stuff. I'll keep those internal. Obviously, you know, I want to make sure that we're working on it and not just talking about it. So there's a lot of things that I felt like we could have done a lot better. And you know, like I said, internally we'll work on those things. But other than that, man, like, you know, with all due respect, me telling you is not going to fix the problem. So, I would rather keep it
At
internal.
the end of the day, man, I wanted to be able to support him ever since that Jax became a part of the team. Obviously, I think, when you have records, there's a part of you where you might not want that record to be broken or whatever, but records are meant to be broken. And, I kind of learned that even in my dad's situation when I got the opportunity to beat my dad's records. And you start to understand that just over the course of time, things change, the game changes. You see the opportunities start to change. I remember when my dad told me when I broke his record, he was like, yeah, but they added the playoff games or the bowl games didn't get added on to his stuff, right? But now, whenever I get older, the bowl games get added on. And then, as you get to the league, it's you see we're starting to add on games and do all of these things, and we go from a running team to then we start passing the ball a lot more. So you see there's a lot more opportunities for us as receivers and tight ends to be able to get opportunities to go after these records and be able to do a lot of great things. And I think that Jax has done an amazing job with his opportunities day in and day out. I mean, he's done well even at practice, being able to translate everything that he does on the field. It was a story that talked about when people wanted to build this huge tower so they could be remembered, and that's when God changed the language. And so for me, it was never about legacy. It was just about being able to glorify God just in me being able to play this game of football. Obviously, there's a lot of benefits that come through playing this sport of football where you can do plan B and plan C to be able to prepare. You can be able to meet people and talk to people and gain relationships and connections that you never thought that you would be able to meet with or talk to if you hadn't been in this position. And so obviously the money is great. The money helps you with the financial parts of life and stuff like that. But there's also burdens and stuff that comes with the financial part as well. But I mean, for me, man, I just wanted to be able to play this game as long as I can, glorify God in it. And I've been able to play 10 years thus far, and it's really been amazing. I saw Doug and Jermaine a couple weeks ago at one of the awards things that we had, and it was crazy to hear them say man, I've played with them 7 to 10 years ago. And so you never know how long you've really been in this game until you start to see older faces and you start to be able to realize man, it's been 6 years with DK. Mike wants to be able to build. I got a chance to be a part of that, and I got a chance to be able to come back because I didn't know if I was going to be able to come back for this season, because sometimes with a new team comes a new culture, new atmosphere, new identity, new everything. And so the fact that they brought me back, I think that spoke a lot of volumes and stuff like that. And obviously there's things that happens within the business where they have to be able to make their decisions on what they want to do and how they want to go about things. I think for me, I've done what I wanted to be able to do as far as be that player that wants to be able to stand on love and stand on support, stand on being able to be a team player. Obviously is that stuff, there's consequences that come with that. There's times where things like that backfires because during the season it's all about team, and then in the off season it is about individual stats and it is about individual performances and if you lived up to the expectations or the things that we wanted from you. And so sometimes there are cons that comes with being that great player or being a supportive teammate, but I've always just wanted things to happen on its own. I never really wanted to be that guy that had to always say throw me the ball, give me the ball. There are times where you might say you don't feel as involved in stuff. Yeah, absolutely. But I do understand why a lot of players, especially in our position at receivers, do demand the ball or do say certain things to be able to get the ball, because again, in the offseason, that's all that matters is what did you do as an individual. But when it comes to building a team and trying to build that championship or of a team, it's all about team in the season. And so it's hard to be able to balance out team as well as individual, because as a player, you know what happens at the end of that season. I think the whole season has been sacrificed. You know what I mean? And it's sacrificed for the betterment of the team, it's sacrificed for the betterment of other players, it's sacrificed for a lot of different stuff. I think that's really been the whole portion of myself. So it sucks for me as a player when you hear people say, oh, he's too old or he's washed or he's not the same type of player. I promise you, if you go watch the film, that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? That's just the truth. But I understand that with sacrifice does come those conversations. It does come those opinions and those different types of theories. And so I'm cool with being able to stand on that, because a lot of people in this organization and a lot of people, whether it's the players or the coaches, understand the sacrifice that I made to try to make this team be the best team possible that they. As a receiver is more so like, there's gonna be times where you're gonna be the guy that week. And there's gonna be other times where you're gonna be a supporting cast. There's gonna be other times where you gotta be able to go out there and you gotta be a decoy. There's gonna be other times where you gotta go out there and you gotta be able to block. There's gonna be other times when you gotta go out there and you gotta go be a cheerleader. But that's what it means to be a team player, is that you're willing to do whichever role it is that team gives you each and every week. Being able to buy into it and make the best out of it, regardless of what you may want for yourself as a player. So I truly believe that, when I talked about sacrifice, it means dying to yourself. They say a lot about that stuff within our faith, but you gotta be able to die to yourself in order for something greater to happen or to come your way.
I'm trying to see. I think Mike told me yesterday, but I kind of already knew though, from somebody else, but I ain't gonna reveal that.
What does it mean to you, get those tears in your eye?
I mean, it's special, when the game recognizes who you are, stuff like that, so you will take in the achievement that you got, and it feel good. So it's a film, it's like, they trip. I ain't gonna lie, they trip. We already know what he's trying to do now, especially that we a year in. It's kind of like we got developed to the defense that he's running, and so I think our confidence going into next year is gonna be through the roof, man.
All right, there you go. You saw the injury report, and the team practiced indoors today because the turf was wet, even though there's just a little rain out here. And then you saw the video. You heard Devon Witherspoon just talk about how important the win is on Sunday, and he acknowledges, getting, the second Pro Bowl nod, but he really said, it's about the team. I talked with Boye Mafe as well, and he said the same thing. You know what? Really what this is about is the team. It's nice to have your peers and, people acknowledge you for, having a good season. Really what they want is a win on Sunday against the Rams team, as I said yesterday, that will not be starting Matthew Stafford. Several other Ram players will sit out, but for the Seahawks, it's an important game. And Geno Smith talked about, he's aware there's a certain incentive. Is he 70% of his passes? If he finishes the game with 70% of his passes overall, he gets a $2 million bonus. Same thing that if the Seahawks win, Geno Smith gets a $2 million bonus. Geno stands to make up to $6 million, depending on the outcome, the win, and I said percentage, and a couple other, depending on his how many yards he throws for on Sunday. So a lot to play for, not just for Geno Smith, but for Mike McDonald, his 10th win, and the Seahawks. I think it's important for them to win and finish this season off on a high note, and use it as a stepping stone for next season. From the VMAC in Renton, I'm Asvita Marir for the Cascadia Sports.net report. Thanks.